Hello, it's Avia006 and today I will be trying to convince those idiots who just desperately believes in that bullshit that those some YouTubers about some World of Tanks console YouTubers just put it a lot of shit in their minds, telling like it's a fucking pay to win, overpowered, by showing them how they're playing on fully gold ammunition. On a close quarters type of maps like Nibelburg, Ruinberg, like those types, like close quarters in a close quarters, one versus ones against other tanks, and usually on a gold ammunition with a 330 millimeters of penetration, which is more than a penetration of a standard shell of Terran. But I would just show you that it was a fucking terribly total bullshit that you believed, because I was the same until I won this tank in a contest. It's not, definitely not even that close like a Terran. But maybe if I would play on a Terran, I would say the same, because until you played it, you're thinking in a bullshit, because you unfortunately don't have this tank, and it's not that strong how they're telling you, because come on, look at this, 250. It's a armor of Centurion, Centurion Hauser. I just don't really know the name of tanks in this boring mode. Centurion 5 and 1 or something, like Centurion Bellerophont, and Esther VK has 254 millimeters. So Prima Victoria has much more stronger turret than this pay-to-win overpowered tank. And look at the size of this; it's really small part, and 240, which could be easily penetrated with a lot of Tier 9 tanks with a standard shot. 180 could be penetrated with every Tier 7. How they're telling, wow, it's a total nightmare against Tier 7, but almost light tank, one of the worst that I have, light tanks with the worst penetration are able to penetrate maybe without maybe not with a standard, but with a gold, definitely every one could penetrate my turret from the sides, and also some of them even could penetrate me even with a gold here. But it's a Tier 9 against Tier 7. With a standard, a lot of could penetrate everything here. Look at the size of this sides plates. Like, it's much more space to be penetrated than this in the end. And if you will see me face to face, most likely I would be turn it to you like you can see at the screen. But a lot of tanks has the same strong front. It's not a surprise if you're stupid enough to realize it, because you're a World War II boring mode player, usually playing single shots, and that's why you're so upset, because this is not a historically correct that this tank exists, because he just added for those who just so fucking tired of those boring single shots tanks, because they're all the same. And you're so upset that you cannot just accept that this game could be fun and a lot of, not a lot unfortunately, but pretty much pretty solid number of players would like to see something like this, because it will make your matches more fun on this. But unfortunately this type of tanks are so expensive, so I could understand that you are believing that total bullshit, just like I believed, because I didn't had this tank, and I saw videos how they're just making for a content for your attention, because usually you will watch something like this rather than, I would just say, it's a decently balanced, even, yeah, I could confirm it's definitely a balanced tank. With this armor, what is so special with this armor? It's an armor, how I told you, front from the tire 8, and maybe size from a tire 9, but it's still not the super over, like, look, my penetration is much more higher than my armor, but also this penetration is just a autoloader tank with a mechanic of rockets, like it's an illusion of rockets, because a true rocket firing tank, it's maybe sounds strange, but it's a true rocket firing tank we received. It was a Monster Jager and Mega Hydra, and maybe that Patton with and Calliope, but only Mega Hydra or Hydra and Monster Jager, because of the speed of the shells, really feelings like it's a really rockets, and because of the speed of rockets, it's a really feelings like it's a true rockets. This one feels like a slow shells from a Ontos, and if you didn't play it on Ontos 2, that's why you're believing this bullshit. You're seeing like, wow, look at this penetration, look at this potential damage from the clip. But I would surprise you, but yeah, I will open Cold War player, like a noob from a Cold War mode, opening eyes to those who are playing this boring mode daily. Just how your Wiesel and just a con and as a clone guy, like I just remembered, I'm not I don't have anything negative for them, but I just feel in myself like you know, kinda not a scammed, like they were telling a total bullshit, like they didn't show the whole picture of the situation with this tank, because I played 3 days that I played. Only yesterday I met one guy with the one mark on it that he did more than a 5.5k damage, because I just didn't did yeah, I did more, but it was with the bots, but without, and I and other players that I played in my last streams before that guy appeared. Most likely he played and playing on this tank from the beginning of the cells, how it was released. I just received it once, 1 month later. Like, you cannot able to buy it right now, it's unavailable, because I won it in a contest that I just put my efforts to win it, and he was the only one who made more than I just did, and my 50% of enemies did almost the same in a positive team in those matches that I played those last 3 days or 2 days, or just never mind, in those last streams from the beginning I started to play on it. It's a total bullshit that you're thinking that every game on this tank is so easy. The farther away you are from your enemy, the more useless your tank is, and the closest you are, just like Terran. Terran could be so powerful and overpowered and pay to win because he's shooting at you from the distance, but he also could, and I felt myself on this tank so like every other tank, so helpless if I was seeing Terran in a 50 meters away from me, because he felt himself so powerful even within the distance, and he just made one shot and I just lost my 1k. But until I will made 1k, I need to shot at him with a reload of the clip 2 seconds. I need to shot 3 shots, and I'm not, maybe with the Terran most likely it will work, but with another tanks, you could see it from the replays of the streams, I didn't penetrate where I would most likely would penetrate with a normal tank and normal shells, like on a Ester VK, and yeah, it would be much more effective, especially the farther, like the closest I am to the enemy, the more realistic that 4K DPM. But even and also because, like I was talking about Ontos, if you didn't play it on Ontos in a Cold War on tanks like this, or maybe on this, it has a perfect for autoloader, by the way, perfect penetration, also great damage per shot, but it has heat. If you're so stupid to understand this, I just don't care about hurting your feelings, because I don't think I think World War II mode community is the most toxic and the most stupid community of this game. So that's why they're believing this bullshit. And I'm just I'm not aiming when I'm just saying this to everyone who is watching, but for those who are like even if I would show them an obvious facts and things and like everything, they will still say it like it's not historically correct, because we need to only play on a boring single shots on maximum autoloaders, and that's only because only after this game would be perfectly balanced, but it will be perfectly boring. That's why every tank like this, but yeah, like this with a mechanical flamethrower, like, but it's a high HE. But that's why tanks like miniguns would be ruined very soon. Tanks with a different the new mechanics would be ruined because of these idiots. And I just don't care about your dislikes. I don't care about your views. I'm not aiming to this part of community. I think they're boring, and even on this tank is so boring it's so boring to play in this mode, and it's so terrible to watch sometimes in real life, that you just wasted more than 7 minutes for a boring match when you could do the same actions in a Cold War in double time faster. But I'm just wanted to say to to show you a point that it's not and that overpowered pay to win, how they're showing you, because you just saw 1k 10k damage match. Like, it's not possible with every other tank. It's possible, and when you're saying 10k game 10k damage game on this, you're thinking it's okay. Oh, just imagine, or on this. But when you're seeing on this, like, it's becoming overpowered pay to win. Like, it's not possible to make it like, believe me, how I saw from not how I played, but how other Night Stalkers, I still didn't saw any match with a 10k damage. I just played 65 plus games, and I didn't saw anyone who would did the same. So this tank would most likely be ruined, and those who bought this tank for real money and gold would be scammed because of idiots like those who are only playing on boring single shots. But I'm definitely sure right now, because I was the same who believed in that total bullshit, but I was more about Monster Jagger because I'm not playing this mode. This tank is absolutely penetratable, and look, I don't know how much more facts I need to show you to convince you that you're believing in a total bullshit, because those YouTubers just making keeping your attention on a negative, and that's why I just kind of opened my eyes when I just played on it. Maybe I'm a Cold War player who is so bad on this World War II boring mode, classically boring mode, but even from 4 matches that I played, I just came up with this opinion, and you could find it from my replays. And I just showed you the tactics, showed you a lot of things to convince you that you were absolutely blindly like they just like told you the best parts, but didn't show the whole picture. And I hope you will watch how much time I would not penetrate on this tank those parts of the armor that I would easily penetrate with the normal shells. And also, let me continue and let me end the story about Ontos. Ontos has much more clip potential, but yeah, it's in a Cold War. You would tell me Cold War. This tank has a DPM of Era 2 Cold War, but I will understand the answer to your misunderstanding, convince how to say it correctly in English. You're thinking it's illegal to have this clip per damage, but you're ignoring the fact that it's a hit. And just look at the statistic of hit magazine of Ontos. Ontos has one of the most perfect steel concealment and camo factor vision range in Era 2. It's also a big like perk of this tank, but even with that, Ontos received much more higher damage per clip from developers. But why? Because it's a hit. Hit would likely not penetrate a lot of shots. Sometimes it will, but not every time. So the same we have here. Sorry. Wait. And I will surprise you. First, I will say that this is the same hit on it. There is no. We don't have anything like AP rounds. We have rockets, but it's just like we had some tanks where a type of shells were named like it's not really the true, because like they were imaginary created, those names were not a fact. Like, it's rockets, but it's not a rockets with the AP like it's a rockets with a mechanic of heat, and even that this mode doesn't have a lot of space armor. You will find it in my replays of those streams on maybe today, how I would miss shots where I should, if I would think like look at my penetration and look at the millimeters of that plates, those plates. I would easily penetrate those plates on my STRVK, and it's not overpowered pay to win. I never heard something like this, but it will be more effective. Why? Because it's a hit, and hit could do strange things, like it will not penetrate 6 shots from 6 perfectly landed to the right plate rockets, like, because it's a hit, and because of this factor you received that much DPM and a lot of potential damage from your magazine. Your DPM, just like DPM of Vigilante and DPM of that Cold War minigun tank, it's just on a paper. And also you just received the autoloader tank with the mechanic of illusion of rockets, and from the only thing what could remind you of rockets on this tank, it's a mechanic of rockets, because these shells would go right to the point. But because you received the mechanic of rockets, and for a balancing factor you received a really slow in a long distance shell velocity, and you could say, oh, it's not that problem, I saw the same. You will get used to it. Yeah, but I just missing shots a lot of times in a not a far distance from my enemy, because it's not that easy to predict. He could just turn or just stop for a second, and I just missed, and you would not do those mistakes with a Cobra, even with this terrible, how they're telling, accuracy. I would most likely to do with a more terrible accuracy, but penetrate rather than not penetrate and with a perfectly, like without a accuracy at all. Because the more you farther away, that's why you're having, not usually tank destroyers have a lot of alpha damage from the shot. You received high, very high potential damage, but with a hit mechanic and speed of rockets with a slow speed, and you didn't receive it in a one shot. You need to waste 10 seconds to make it perfectly, and for this 10 seconds, if you will hit a tank who will receive at least 2 shots and would do anything to escape, he's just a stupid, he's just an idiot, that he didn't take a cover. So that's why you killed me. But also that idiot would go and tells everyone everywhere where it's available that it's a pay to win. He just didn't had enough brains to realize that he played like an idiot. And later, because of idiots like him, this tank would be destroyed. It's just the matter of time. And I would surprise you even more. You're telling me maybe you compare this tank to the Ontos from a Cold War, from Era 2 especially. But how Wiesel and other who just was telling that bullshit that it's super overpowered, it's not right for this game and it's not good and blah 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 blah. But we received a new minigun, and they just saw that you're just tired of Night Stalker, so it's finally time to. By the way, Wiesel just showed you how he's remarked this terrible pay-to-win tanks, like not good for a game, but I will make a content how I'm making 3 marks on this tank, and like I'm sorry but that I killed you, but suffer, but I will not even I will not say it to you in my videos. I would just pretend that it's super overpowered. Blah blah blah. Bad wargaming. You're ruining this game. You're ruining this game, creating more fun ways to play this boring mode. Nerf this shit. Make long single shots great again, and boring this mode again. And yeah, I will surprise you how they played, how they did on Berlin. 10k damage or 8k damage, how he did from videos that I saw. I'm just like I told, I'm not I don't see a point of confrontation with him, but I just want to prove that he was wrong. But I'm kind of impulsive person that I would say everything I'm feeling, and I'm not going to pretend because I don't give a fuck about your views and about your likes and dislikes, because I'm not aiming I'm not aiming to be only a World of Tanks console channel, and I will never be, even if you will see a lot of streams about this game. It's unfortunately one of the most popular, or the most popular game on this channel, but this channel is will never be about this game. But I will surprise you. Gold shells. It's on this tank is a heat shell. Hash shells. It's more even effective than HE. I mean. And penetration of those shells, gold shells, on Cobra has 210 millimeters, and they could do, and it will be the same like with a WWII, but it's on a tire 9, not on a tire 10. How it will be? Just calculate in your head on with your phone. 200 and into 4 shots. 4 shots with a 480 HP, like not in a 6 shots, in a 4 shots, and reload is even much faster. So you need to show up yourself 4 times from the corner to do 480. If you will not penetrate, you will still do damage instead of rockets. Rockets will not do it because it's a hit in comparison to HE. So where the fuck is your pay-to-winness? Total bullshit. It will be even more. It will be in a perfectly. It will be 1960 damage instead of 1920 damage. So where the fuck is your pay to win? Just disappeared, right? But why? What would you say? Right? Would you say now? You would say it has a what it has more better than this tank has on gold. It has a fully rotated gun, 10 degrees of gun depression. What it has more? It has a much more effectiveness on the distance. Yes, it has a maybe not the best accuracy, but because you can shoot from any distance, and yeah, your HE hash, but it's a HE. Let's like to say it more like this, hash. Okay, let it be hash, because it's a hash. Your hash would be effective in any distance, like yeah. So we have a variation, and it's not making this tank pay to win, just like these rockets are not making this tank pay to win. You just believed in a total bullshit. Stop believing that shit. I'm even a player who are definitely a noob in this boring mode, are trying to convince you because you believed in a total bullshit from those YouTubers who are just making more views from this type of content, where every title is with those on their covers, like broken, toxic, pay to win, and this is not good for a game, because like usually bad news making views, not like good news. And later you will see how every new mechanic, because we already seeing, are totally destroyed because of those idiots who are playing and paying real money, because it's 80% or even more of the community who are playing on boring tanks like this. But it's just an example. I mean, single shot players, how I'm calling them. And yeah, and for those idiots, Wargaming would do everything because they will lose in the end their like money. I just don't give a fuck about that Wargaming just gifted me, because it wasn't a gift. I just earned it, and you could find it in the Discord, that contest, and you could compare to the other how I earned it. And the reasons he just sent it me because I won, that I deserve it. It's not automatically making me that I sold myself for Wargaming. I was thinking the same bullshit, and I just trying to like wash away that stupidness that I had, because it just happened when Wiesel 1 arrived. But Wiesel 1 are so toxic, broken, pay to win, overpowered, shit like this, only because of R1, R2 buttons, because we could not play at all a circle around player and kill him using auto aim. And if without it, it would be immediately not overpowered, pay to win. By the way, I could buy this shit, but I'm still thinking that I don't really want it because of this stupid, not fair mechanic. Like, look at this. I could buy this shit. I just got so lucky with my duplicate tanks from the long hauls, and but I still don't really want, because of this stupid type of playstyle, which is more effective. But and after this, I just survived FV 4000, FV 4211 molots, and even with them you could do. And this tank is definitely not like a molot. It's definitely not like a FV 4000, FV 4211. The armor of this tank is not that strong. Don't believe in that total bullshit, because you, like I told you, unfortunately you didn't play it on this tank. Like I saw how, not myself how I played, how other played, it's definitely not that true. Maybe you could do it, yeah, but you will, the fact that you did more than an average 5k, like even if you did 10k damage, it doesn't mean that it's overpowered. It means that you just played really good on this tank. It's not illegal to do 10k damage, but you will not, most likely, or maybe you're super pro, but it's a small of percent. I'm only learning how to play on this tank, and this mode is something new for me, because it's a different weak points and something like this, different tactic. I just don't like to be like from out of nowhere, like RKO from out of nowhere, tank just appearing on my screen in 100 meters, 200 meters, or something like this away from me. I like true vision. I would like to, if I had a time machine, I would like to exchange this tank into a Monster Jager, but unfortunately I need to play on this mode because I want this tank and I still didn't get tired of it. But from what I played and what I saw, not only from my experience and not but from those who played against me, this tank is absolutely penetratable. Also, you could do a lot of things like with much like I was saying, Molot and 4000 FE 4211 in a Cold War, in comparison to the imaginary super strong armor of this tank, is much more not penetratable than this, because they're just usually shooting at the angled armor. But like I showed you, you're just making yourself a fool. Look at this part and how big it is. And yeah, and also this could be also penetratable, but there is a chance to ricochet. But we have a lot of tanks with angled armor. What a stupid bullshit to believe that it's something unique. Look at this part, like I told, it's a small part. You have 75 or more % of other angles to penetrate it. Like, you're just playing wrong against this tank. Look, where is red? I don't see a red at all. Like, there is no red points. Like only here is barely you can see red parts of this tank. Even from the front you could penetrate it. Yeah, it's angled, but there is not a red part. You could do it with your HE. Like, where is red parts of this armor from the sides? So you're just seeing obvious things, but believing in that bullshit from those videos. And that's all. That's fucking all. So if I just didn't convince you, look at this. Again, I will waste my time again because of this. Yeah, I found the most, it's not even upgraded. It's a tier 7. What a nightmare for a tier 7. Like, we don't have the same situation when tier 7 plays against tier 5s. It's like stupid to compare tier 7 to tier 9 because of this matchmaking, like, you know, this bullshit, what they're always when they always crying about this. Like, what we have not upgraded, not fully upgraded tank. I cannot see what will be next, but we have 145 and 210. It's a light tank, probably with a good concealment, which could be also a balancing factor. That's why it's so low. I'm not saying that with this one you will penetrate every part of my Night Stalker, and it's still a tier 7 against tier 9. So it was 210. Okay, but it's the most lowest numbers that I saw. Okay, with a gold, on a not upgraded light tank gun, you will not penetrate these parts from the front. But where is, how I told, where is those parts the most strongest? I cannot see it, them, almost cannot see them. Would you really hit by watching at this tank from this side? You would only aim here or here? Most likely you will not. You need to yeah, with the gold ammunition you will penetrate everything from here. And look how a lot of space you have to make the right actions, because it's just penetrating. If you will not penetrate, you just penetrate. You just did like, not in the right place. Like, come on, look at this. It's absolutely penetratable. If you are ricocheting by shooting here, shoot here. It's even more space, much more space than here. So it's a big part. So, and how it was 145. Okay, 5 millimeters is not enough, but you still have this in the end. You still have this. You're a light tank. You could just kill me from behind. That part. Well, that is unlikely. But look at this, 50 millimeters. But in the end, Tier 7 against Tier 9, it's okay that you are not able to penetrate sights even with the standard not fully upgradable gun, which I think maybe it will be increased if you will upgrade that gun. So you will most likely penetrate it with the standard too. It's okay because Tier 7 and it's a Tier 9, but if we had the same in a Tier 9s, like any Tier 9 without a gold are not able to penetrate this. I would agree. I would say it's not fair, but it's like I showed you. Like, look at what I have. I don't have too much, but this one only will not penetrate. Only one plate, but it's an autoloader. Ah, no, 2 plates, okay, with a standard, but it's an autoloader. It's a normal for autoloaders to have worse penetration. If that's AP, it's a AP, it's not a hit. Can see? Yeah. And look at this. Easier to penetrate, but it's also hit. This is not a hit, and it will penetrate everything. Tech 3 tank. This one will, I don't know, maybe later if I will upgrade it will penetrate too, but still will penetrate almost everything except 2 plates, which as I showed, the same. Will penetrate everything without a problem with a standard penetration of shells. So where the fuck is my pay to win? Am I blind, or I just didn't notice something? Maybe I'm like a arachnid in a awakened mode when I'm playing against, but you just didn't like when I'm playing against those tanks in face to face. Am I jumping like in a middle, or how it will be in a mid-air, and shooting my rockets like a Stinger or like a javelin to my enemy tanks, and that's why every shot is landing perfectly, and at the same time they're not able to kill me because they had not enough elevation of those turrets or those barrels. No, I'm just playing like a every other tank. I'm still thinking that I need to take covers. I'm still thinking that I still penetratable. I'm still thinking that I able to be destroyed, and I'm still thinking that most of my shells, because I know it and I showed a lot of times in my last streams, that even if you're aiming to the right place, you will not penetrate, because the hit would do a lot of strange things even in this mode. So unlikely you will penetrate every shot every time. You will do a lot of there will be a lot of funny moments with it's not penetrating at all Like you even starting to later use your gold ammunition, and it's still not penetrating. Yesterday I played against tier 9 heavy, French heavy, and he was bouncing every shot from my gold and standard with his turret from the front. So where is my 330? And I just was aiming here as a part of his armor, like here. Didn't work too. I was aiming to the tracks, like sights, and because of the heat you could forget about it almost. Like no, yeah, you will 50-50 penetrate them, but because of heat doesn't like tracks, you will bounce, you will not penetrate. So where is my fucking pay to win? I'm so disappointed. I was believing in a bullshit that I just finally realized that it was a total bullshit when I just played on it, on this tank. So I think this tank should not be nerfed, and those who just bought it will be scammed, just like everyone who will buy something different than boring single shot or maybe autoloader will be scammed, and because like I told, a boring single shot will ruin everything for them with their cryings. But here is nothing like pay to win and super overpowerness I didn't saw. And those players on Night Stalkers that I played against didn't show much different result that I did, and I played definitely much less, because I received it later than everyone in the end, because maybe it was the two winners, maybe one guy also chose Night Stalker, I don't know who won with me. And yeah, so where is your excuses for this total bullshit that you believed? That I'm just don't know how to play. I just watch how I landed my shots, where they flight, where exactly they flight, and why they somehow didn't penetrate it where it must be. And yeah, I'm not going to waste more of my time. I need to do the long haul. If you're still believing in that total bullshit, still watch those stupid and pointless videos who are making activity of your blind beliefs. I'm not going to watch those streamers and YouTubers anymore. It's not like I'm so respectful with so I really respect Ricky Tikitawi with opinion about Wiesel 1, but also Wiesel 1 is just really so powerful because those noobs just don't know how to play and aim. That's why they bought those Wiesel 1s. And they're playing in a 90%, 95% of those tanks, even statistical matches for marks are almost only without aiming. It's just a Mario Kart and you're just holding your fire button while auto-aiming and circling around. That's why the tank is so annoying and so easy to play. That's why I don't really want to buy that shit. Maybe I will buy for a collection, but I know that if I will play while with the aiming, it will be less effective than those noobs who will just auto-aim. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will make it like a video. Maybe it's the best idea with this. And yeah, see you on the next stream about this tank. This tank is fun, but it's definitely not. It's only fun because it's a rocket, but like on a monster Jager. I'm sure if I had a time machine, I would say better give me a monster Jager instead of this tank. But next year you and I will be able to take one of those for free. Why the fuck are you crying, by the way? You will receive next year the same tank like I have, and a lot of players who bought have. But because of your cryings, you will not receive it that powerful. Maybe it's okay for you, but you will only waste a time for that challenge like I. But there are players who just wasted their money, and you could be in a situation like them too, sooner or later, like I had with Tau when I just bought it for a free XP, because of those idiots who just don't know how to play against Wiesel 1. Tau, not a Wiesel 1 with the auto aim. Didn't know how to easily deal against that tank, and they were it was usually campers on a heavy tanks, and yeah, because of that, not only Wiesel was ruined, a lot of almost ATGM tanks just got ruined because of those idiots. So yeah, I fucking like this community sometimes of this game. I think, yeah, I could say a lot of negative sometimes things, but it's not meaning that everyone who is playing this game is the same, but just a lot of players makes this game more terrible, more disgusting, and than developers really did. Like, they're bringing us one of the best. Yeah, it's super expensive, the main problem about this only. They bring us really one of the funniest and one of the best Halloween tanks that ever arrived. Like, what the fuck do you want from them more? What the fuck did you expected from them more? You expected another boring single shot? You received something more, and you're still not happy because it's not historically correct. Fuck your historical correctness or correct. It's not a simulator game. It's an arcade game. This game must be fun, and if you don't like fun games, you would say, yeah, of course it's fun to play on this tank against tanks that you're clipping, but like I told and I showed you, it's absolutely penetratable tank, much more easier to penetrate than other pay-to-win, how they're saying, from a Cold War, from this modes. If I just didn't convince you with what I saw, what I told you, nothing will convince you. Just like Wiesel told in the end of his video, like it's not pay to win, but he just showed you 10k game. Okay, I could do the same with my Cobra and on those hash, and we'll make a video with a mood like it's a super overpowered Nerf, this shit, and you will watch the best of my game, the best game that I did, and most likely you will believe it too. And I could do it with a lot of tanks. Like I heard about the machine, I heard about a lot of tanks before. Like, just a type of content that really works. That's why you're seeing this, because other content is not viewable. Okay, I'm done. If nothing will convince you, believe in that bullshit. I hope you will play on it and will realize that you were so fucking wrong.